going to come. We don't have enough
I've got two missing. I think Maurice will probably show up. Like
Okay,
you
because
said.
we don't have enough to pass an emergency clause in
I know
case
it.
we.
I think
okay.
Maurice is still coming. I haven't
Okay,
heard.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Ross,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Taylor, Baxter,
Here.
Harris.
Here.
And Sulaco.
Here.
Will you ready, please stand for the pledge of allegiance and the prayer by Mr. Barber, please.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we do come before you this evening, and we thank you, Lord, that you are always there for us. Lord, you watch over us, you protect us. We thank you for these leaders that you have given us, and just pray that they would have wisdom tonight as they guide this city. We also pray tonight for the peace of Jerusalem, Lord, for those in Israel, those who are suffering. We pray for wise leaders there also. We pray for your hand of protection upon them and upon us, Lord. We do thank you for all that you do. In the name of Jesus, all people said.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion second.
Motion Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Taylor, Baxter,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
and Sulaco.
Yes.
Would anybody like to pull any communications? If not, if so, let me know. Has anybody seen them? Okay. If not, I'll ask for a motion, accept and file on communications.
Move to accept and file. Second.
On the motion, Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Baxter,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
And Sulaco.
Yes.
Linda asked, Ms. Robinson asked for us to have an update on the Rose City Health Clinic. So I've asked Colleen, please, if you'll come up, Colleen, for presentations, I'd appreciate it, please, ma'am. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the city and the council is building a health clinic at the corner of East Broadway and 165. So we've got some pictures here, I think, for Colleen. Call, if you'll update us, please, if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely. So the approximate building size, as you can read along with me, 6,000 square foot. The lobby is going to hold approximately 73 people, 1,458 square foot. The vestibule is 101 square feet. And then the next slide is the rendering. Maybe, there you go. And of course, Jeff did a phenomenal job of getting that same angle so you can see where we are as of today. Next slide. Where we are today. Next slide is the rendering from this angle. And again, Jeff did a fantastic job of catching it from this angle as of today, October 23rd.
Thank you. Any questions for you, Ms. Colleen? Ms. Bailey?
Next slide,
Are
sorry.
you still going? Okay, go ahead.
I thought, no, I just meant to move it. I don't know if you're interested, the floor plan is there for you guys to see. You can see the different rooms up on the rooms. And right now we're under budget too, which is very exciting. We'll keep you posted. Any questions? Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Estimated time as far as completion, or I know that's a moving target.
Well, that's the answer I don't have officially.
Okay, right.
But I can get it, and I can get back to you on it.
Okay.
What I'm understanding, Ms. Ross, the completion date, Mr. Davis, Mike? Did you hear that? Please? What we've been studying is we've been going around through our meetings and staff meetings. Mr. Davis, she's asking approximate.
The last meeting we had was toward mid to late May.
Next year, of course. So what happened, Ms. Taylor, I was asking, Ms. Robinson asked us kind of have an update on the new Baptist Health Clinic in y'all's neighborhood out there, so that's what this is about.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, Mr. Taylor. Anybody else? Thank you very, very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to be on, if I'm not mistaken, R203, is that where we are? And that's Mr. Robinson, Ms. Taylor, are you going to hold that still? He's here. I know, I said, but I was asking. She said to hold it.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
okay. You're welcome. R203, 23203 is to be held. Mayor, he did sign it. Who did? Okay, he did? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see it here. There you go. The rabbi, please come forward if you don't mind. Did you understand that the council members was going to hold this tonight, but you still want to speak, correct? You can speak. You're signed up, so go ahead. Yes, sir.
Because I thought that's the process, if you have any questions.
Questions he asked, Ms. Ross?
Well, we were holding it because we didn't know he was gonna be here.
Okay. I was told he wasn't either.
Yeah.
Oh, because
So,
last,
Oh, I'm sorry, and I knew as of today that he was.
well, that's something.
But I thought everybody knew, so I did not know and anything until today.
Okay. Ms. Ross? Anything?
No, I didn't.
Yes, sir. There's no, I don't guess there's any questions, and we were told, like I could say, that you wasn't going to be here, so accept my apology. It looks like the only knew it was our city attorney, so.
sorry, I think I spoke with Rick a few days.
Rick, yeah, and I didn't, that message didn't get conveyed to me until this afternoon. And I was like, because I wasn't here the last time, and,
Ms. Taylor, you still want to hold this?
No, I'm ready. Let's go.
okay.
All right, please call it then.
No, wait, then I do have something.
All right.
I just want to make sure that you understand the timelines and everything on all this, on the rehab agreement, and agree to all the,
Yeah, is it 6 months?
I'm about to get it.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and read this. Mr.
R
Counsel-
23-203, council members Robinson and Taylor. A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an amended agreement to rehabilitate property for certain real property located at 213-219 Crockett Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Is there a motion and a second?
I'm going to get, is there a motion, a second, and then I'll ask
So
for
moved.
questions. There's a
Second.
motion, there is a second.
On the motion, Ross?
There were still questions.
Yeah, there's, so let's hold it for
No,
just a
I
second.
just want to make sure that you understand everything that's in there, because a lot of times we'll have people come back and they didn't quite understand the timeline, and when their rehab agreement expired, then they were in, basically forfeiture of their escrow.
And then you asked, is it 6 months? And it is. It's 180 days from the effective date of the agreement, which will be when, once it gets signed by the mayor and city clerk tomorrow. So you've got 6 months
From when it's signed.
from tomorrow.
Thank
Have you done anything on the property as of yet?
How we got here today was I had a different property manager at the time. I'm brand new into the business. I trusted him, and when he did work, and when he finished the work, and I came back to the city to ask for my deposit, my escrow, which I had no idea. They're like, you never pulled any permits and stuff.
Right.
So right now I had a rental officer, someone that oversees the property, walk over together with my property manager and a licensed contractor is here today. And he went through to make sure there's a clear understanding what needs to be done, replacing the windows, replacing some beams, various items of the house. And ever since then, we didn't do anything yet. I was guided not to do anything till I get approved over here.
Gotcha.
So that's what we're waiting for.
All right, anything else? Yes, sir, Mr. Baxter.
I have a question for our code folks,
Alicia?
please. So originally, we entered, or the city entered into an rehab agreement under R2316 back in February. And there was a list of items that were listed on the Exhibit A, the attachment.
Correct.
Have any of these items been completed?
Very few. Again, he spoke with Officer Williams, and who did a walkthrough with him, and also did a stop work order, and advised him that he was not supposed to be working until all the correct permits were pulled, since it is a condemned structure. And so at that time, he did stop work at that property.
So as I'm looking at the estimate, if you will, of the initial rehab agreement and what's in this one, they're not the same, right? So I'm just confused as to what was done based on the original one and then what we see in the second one. The original rehab agreement was supposed to cost almost $30,000, and this one's looked like $15,000. But they're different things on each of them. So I'm just trying to figure out where we are here.
I'm not seeing that for the original rehab agreement,
The original was dated R-2316, and I've been seeing it, it's, was the 13th of February of this year.
okay, that one shows, $5,895.
$28,500 was the total cost of repairs on page 2. And it lists things of demo and dispose, repair, install outside structure and siding, install, repair roof was the price. There's install electrical and plumbing, sheet rock paint, the interior, install kitchen cabinets and bathroom, and install flooring.
That is his estimated cost to renovate the structure. Our cost for demolition and our admin fees total up to $5,895.
Okay, I'm just seeing two different things here as far as what needs to be done to the structure in an
Right.
effort to bring it up to where it can get a certificate of occupancy.
The monies that we collect is for the cost of demolition.
Understand, right? But as far as the items that are yes, that are supposed to be repaired are different between the two rehab agreements. And if you're telling me that not much has been done, again, I'm confused, and at this point, I don't know.
Mr. Hamilton?
Were things supposed to be done that were not done? I mean, in the sense that he said he had a contractor or manager that didn't work out. Now, since then, since he's decided, have you had a walkthrough? I'm just asking in his defense, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, we did a walkthrough,
Uh-huh.
but some of the things that needed to be done were simply covered up. And so he was told that he needed to stop work until he pulled the correct permits and have the officials, the building officials come out and the electrical inspector to inspect the property before walls are sealed up, before plumbing is covered over. But the cost that Mr. Baxter is referring to, that's his estimated cost.
We don't care about the cost. It has to meet code,
Right.
whether that's $5 million or $200.
Right,
It just has to
exactly.
meet code. That's what we
Right,
care about.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it needs to be brought up to code. And so, again, our cost for demolition is $5,800. I don't care what you spend on your property. If you don't meet the requirements of the rehab agreement, then we take that cost that you put into that escrow account and demolish that structure.
So back to it, Rabbi, if you don't mind, let's go make sure you understand everything that's going on, okay? Would you please? So what we're saying to you is you're asking for us to give you another 180 days to fix the items that brings it up to code. So you understand what we're saying?
I've got a question
Aren't
for
you
the
got another
rabbi.
question, Mr. Hamilton?
Rabbi, were you, those things that were covered up that our code enforcement sees a lot of, I'm sure, was that due to ignorance or maliciousness? Were you trying to get away with something, or was that just due because you didn't know what was going on, or was that even you? Was that your contractor?
That's a wonderful question. I'm glad you're asking. I'll be happy to explain. I don't know construction. I did not do the work. I hired a property manager. That property manager oversaw the work, who he chose, how he did it. I put my faith and my trust in him. After this issue at the house, I moved to a property manager at McKimmey. He's now my current property manager, Joshua Lefevre. And I oversee, he gave me his word. He oversees every contractor that he hires is properly licensed. He double checks everything with the contractor. And I myself learned, I guess from lack of trust, from what that happened, I myself reached out to code enforcement for guidance, how to take the next steps ahead. I requested the rental officer, I forgot, is that what he goes by? The title rental officer, to come to make sure, to go with my contractor to see what needs to be done to bring this up to code. I didn't know till that time that, there were some windows that are not serviceable, and he told us that all has to be changed. I didn't know, and we are going to change all those windows. So I'm learning more than I was expecting to learn. I was not really planning to be so much involved, but because of my experience with my previous property manager, I'm a little bit more involved, but I don't do the actual work. The contractors, any workers I have will be licensed contractors who, I'm assuming if they're licensed, I trust them. I can trust them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions? If not, we have a motion and a second, I think.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
No.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Motion carried, sir. You need to report to the city attorney's office to get your instructions, so.
And I'm gonna get him to sign this page right now.
Got him.
So that I'll
Okay.
have yours and Diane's signatures tomorrow, so
Be fine.
this time will start.
Next.
R23-216.
Go ahead, and
Mayor Hartwick?
let's read that. It was held last time, wasn't it? I was gonna ask if Mr. Tate is here. Is it Bruce Tate? Are you here, sir?
Thank you.
I know it, and so I'm at the point, well, if he's not here, I think Ms. Ross said we probably would hold it. Is that what you want to do since he's not
Not
here?
mine, but I mean,
I know,
I think
but
that
you-
we need to make sure that they understand, because we've had so many come back and say that,
I'll hold it one more
know
time.
what they were doing.
I'll hold it one more time then. It drops off, he doesn't show up next time anyway. Okay. Let's go to 02377.
O2377, Councilmember Hamilton?
Are the Hensons in the audience anywhere?
I don't see
Outside.
Jim or Stacy.
I'd like to hold that.
Hold it, all right. Hold it.
New business, R23-218, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution expressing the willingness of the city of North Little Rock to partner with the Arkansas Department of Transportation, RDOT, for Highway 70 improvement projects.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Thank you.
R23-219, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with the North Little Rock Housing Authority to administer tenant-based rental assistance, TBRA.
For adoption.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And there is a second.
On the motion, Ross?
Hang on a second. I got Ms. Ross want to ask a question. Please
No,
hold it.
and I know that Bailey's here.
Bailey, come on up, please, ma'am.
It's a question. Yeah. A lot of money, and I've had people asking me questions on this. If you can just kind of explain what it is so that people know what these funds are going for. And then my main question is, will this be for North Little Rock residents only? And I know if you're homeless, you don't have a resident, but are we reaching out to the people in North Little Rock now? Or will it be people that are coming into the city to get the vouchers?
My name's Bailey Noland. I'm the Director of Community Development. And to give you a little background on these funds, this is our Home Investment Partnerships American Rescue Plan allocation. And this is funding that came about during the COVID pandemic, and it is tailored specifically to people who are homeless or who are at immediate risk of homelessness. Now, one sort of stipulation with the home ARP funds is that there are some really specific categories that we can apply them to. So we had the option of development and support of affordable housing, tenant-based rental assistance that we're discussing currently, provision of supportive services for those qualifying populations, as well as the acquisition and development of non-congregate shelter units. Now, when we work with these HUD funds, there's a very lengthy process. We have a consultation period where we reach out to stakeholders in the community. There's lots of data and number crunching to figure out how this would work for our specific municipality. And when we put out our request for proposals, we provided this information and used that to start narrowing down what we could do with organizations that were eligible. In this case, the Housing Authority is an agency that is eligible to provide these services. So the tenant-based rental assistance through the Home ARP is again specifically tailored toward those qualifying populations, homeless or at risk of homelessness. And it would operate like a voucher. So it is assistance that's tied to the individual. If I myself were to apply and were to qualify, I would be then awarded a voucher. I then have the opportunity to take that voucher and find my own housing. So I can get a single-family home, I can find an apartment, a townhouse, and it gives the recipient the flexibility of finding a rental property that works for them. Now, of course, there are some stipulations as far as making sure everything is up to standard and code so that we're placing people in safe accommodations. But that's kind of an overview of how this works. And the reason that we want to work directly with the Housing Authority is because, as you know, they issue vouchers. They are the expert in this type of work. They already have the structures in place to provide this. And these Home ARP funds will be treated as a separate voucher program. So the Housing Authority has their existing voucher programs, their existing waiting lists. If this passes and we're able to move forward, then individuals who qualify would apply for that specific pot of funding. They would not have to go into a longer waiting list and wait and wait and wait. So that being said, if we have folks in North Little Rock that would qualify, we will work with the Housing Authority to develop an agreement that outlines all of the appropriate administrative requirements, that outlines what would be eligible as far as proving whether or not they would qualify for these funds. And so we'll work with the Housing Authority on those pieces to ensure that it's being tailored toward the folks that need it the most and that are then able to use those vouchers to find accommodations in North Little Rock.
Okay, so I guess my next question, and I don't know this personally, but I've heard from other people that we have several families with children that are school age in our schools. They're living in their cars that are homeless. So can we request, or is there anything, or is it strictly up to the Housing Authority? But and I know I don't want to deprive anyone else, but when you got children living in cars,
Yes, ma'am. And when we did the consultation for these funds last year, we actually had the liaison from the school district participate. They were able to provide data about our students who are homeless or near homeless. And, one thing it's important to remember is that being homeless doesn't always mean that you're sleeping on the street. If you're sleeping in your car because you don't have anywhere to go, you're homeless. If you're sleeping on your friend's couch because you lost your job and you don't have rent money, you're homeless. So to address your question, Ms. Ross, although we don't have a special set aside within this funding that would be specifically for those students, those families would qualify. I know I spoke with Councilmember Robinson about some specific circumstances, and those would qualify. So when these funds are available, they would go through the usual process. Now, that being said, the Housing Authority has worked very closely with the school district's homeless liaison in the past, and so I had some discussions today to see what our options would be to work closely with the district, provide them the information needed, and use the homeless liaison as an avenue to ensure that these eligible families have access to this information and work with them to make sure that they've got all of their ducks in a row so that as soon as this funding is made available, then they have what they need to go through the process, and it will be applied on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, if there were any of those families or eligible individuals that were already on one of the other waiting lists, they would have the option then of applying for the Home ARP funds and would be then first-come, first-served in that set. So it wouldn't affect the existing waiting list. They could jump over and be first-come, first-served under the Home ARP funds to hopefully serve them more expeditiously.
And one more question. How many families do you think this will impact?
That's a good question. That's not one that I have an answer to off the top of my head, and just because it depends on so many factors. The amount of funding that is assigned to each voucher can vary. So I don't unfortunately have any data on that, but I'd be happy to look into that a little more when I get back to my office and see if I can get you a ballpark figure.
Okay, well, I can kind of guess on the rental too and divide it, but I was just thought maybe y'all had a number. Thank you.
Mr. Taylor?
Councilmember Ross, I don't know if you asked this question or not, but I think one of Councilmember Robinson's concerns was there a way to actually allocate a certain portion of this money towards the children at the high school?
Yes, and I'd spoken with Councilmember Robinson as well as Belinda Snow from the Housing Authority. And so the way that it was explained to me is that when we receive these home ARP funds, this will be a separate program that runs in addition to their other programs. If we were to attempt to allocate a set of that from this home ARP, then that would be yet another program that they would have to administer. And so, you know, as far as streamlining the process and making sure that it's available to all of those qualifying populations, certainly these students who are on this homelessness spectrum would qualify for this funding. And so that's why we had discussed working closely with the homeless liaison so that we can do some outreach to those families, hopefully get some information to them on the front end, and that way once the funds are made available, we've got a way to quickly get them in line, get their applications, you know, processed in line with the way that the Housing Authority runs that.
Good.
One
Ms.
more quick
Ross?
question. How long are the vouchers good for? I mean, is it 6 months? Is it a year?
So
or
they are renewed.
So I can't figure out the money, how long, how many of them?
So it's an annual basis that they are, yeah, and so there's certain, you know, factors that during that renewal process that they go back and check for, you know, certain income and things of that nature, and it's evaluated each year.
Anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I think we're on
On the motion?
motion.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R23-220, Mayor Hartwick.
Please call it.
A
Stay there.
resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with River City Ministry for the acquisition of affordable rental housing or non-congregate housing.
Move for adoption.
Motion
Second.
adopt and seconded, and hang on, we got questions, please. Ms. Ross?
Same, exact same program, only they are, River City is how's this?
So this is another part of the home ARP funding that we received. The one that just passed is, of course, our tenant-based rental assistance, and then we have $300,000 that we are setting aside to work with River City Ministry. And what they will do is then acquire a property that they will manage and they will oversee, and it can be used as affordable rental housing or non-congregate housing, which under home ARP, that just means it's kind of like having your own apartment, your own accommodations, your own bathroom, your own kitchen. And so that is one of the eligible uses. Of course, we know that River City has a longstanding relationship with the city of North Little Rock and the work that they do with our residents on the homeless spectrum. And so when they submitted their request for, or the response to our RFP, they outlined some property acquisition options that we wanted to look at and move forward with. So it's part of the same funding, but a slightly different angle.
I guess my other thing, this will not be used as group homes, though. River City
Correct.
Ministry will not be.
Correct. So when you think of a traditional shelter,
It's not
that's
there.
what HUD would consider congregate housing, right? Lots of people sharing a dorm room, for example. And because these funds grew out of the COVID pandemic, there was a specific emphasis on splitting people up, non-congregate, so making sure that when they are housed, that they are housed with their own bedroom, their own bathroom, their own kitchen. It's not a facility that is like a group home type of setting where everybody's living communally. It's specifically for separate accommodations.
Anybody else? Okay, we have a motion and a second, if I'm not mistaken.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Betty, appreciate you.
R23-221, I'm going to read the addresses.
Please,
R23-221, 300 East 19th Street. R22-222, 317 Short Street. R23-223, 715 West 41st Street. R23-224, 812 North I Street. R23-216, 1109 West 24th Street. Oh, 226, 1109 West 24th Street, R23-227, 1823 Franklin Street, R23-228, 3011 Gribble Street, R23-229, 1722 Magnolia Street.
So with that, I'm going to have it read for a resolution first, and then I'll stop and call a public hearing if y'all don't mind. So, are you?
Going to convene a mass public hearing, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm mass public hearing on all
Okay.
the other. Is that okay with Miss Amy? All right, thank you.
Yes.
So I'll ask for a motion second, and I'll call the public hearing if you don't mind, please.
Well, no, you can't do a motion in a second.
Okay.
We're just doing the public hearing now.
Well, let's go ahead and do it
They
then.
all have to be read individually and
Let's-
voted on.
Let's do it then.
And we do have,
I'm going to see who's
Ballard.
here. Do y'all understand what we got? We've got several of these on the slip, so I've got several people here. I'm going to convene a public hearing, starting with R23-221, going all the way through to 23-229. Those wishing to speak for or against any of those resolutions, please come to the microphone and identify yourself. So we're talking about R23-221, and that's some of the addresses. So you're looking up here right now, you look at 300 West 19. Go ahead and scroll through these while I'm talking, if you don't mind.
Mary Waller, please come up. Ms. Waller's here on 812 North I Street.
Okay, thank you. Give me just a second, Ms. Law, okay? When I get through, you have to identify yourself, and then we'll talk about what you want to talk. So give me just a second, okay? And we're still looking at 300 West East 19th. This is 317. And what was her address, Miss Diane?
812 North I.
812 North I got you. She's coming up in just a second then.
This is
Stop
Ms.
right there if
Waller.
you don't mind, guys in the back. So, yes, ma'am, identify yourself, please.
I'm Mary Waller. I'm the daughter of Retta Gillum, the owner of the property, who's deceased.
Yes, ma'am. And
Oh, well.
this is a public hearing, speaking for or against this now.
What, having it demolished or
Yeah, if you don't-
condemned?
I believe she said that the
I'm not
grandchild
familiar
is.
with these proceedings, and I don't know.
Okay.
You mentioned your granddaughter was going to take it over?
Yes, and we needed time to get the other sibling's signature to release her the property so that she could,
So you're asking for more time, is what you're saying to me, right? So you
Yes,
want me to
sir.
hold this particular one so you can come back to us pretty soon and tell us what you're going to do with it?
she wants to tear the house down and rebuild.
Okay?
Far as I know of, I'm having a hard time understanding this procedure at all, and
Come on up here, Felicia, please.
I'm just not
You're
familiar.
okay, don't worry about it, you're
Okay.
fine. We understand. So you're talking for this lady, and she wants to possibly tear it down. Right now, we're in the process of a public hearing. Felicia's going to give you right now where we are on this thing. Felicia, if you don't mind.
Right, and I spoke with her briefly and explained to her that even if the structure is condemned, we still give her time to demolish the structure. And I also advised her that we would help her with debris removal as well.
Okay, you got that, what we're doing?
I do. But
So-
I'm not the one that's going to be doing it. It's one of the grandchildren of Miss Gillum.
Go ahead.
The issue is the grandchildren they're not the owners of the property. We have to deal with,
We have to deal with getting it, the property title to one of the grandchildren.
Where, they didn't show up tonight? Nope. They did not show up tonight?
No, they did not show up. We still have one sibling that's, she's torn between giving up one section of, like, the house, it's 2 lots there. She wants to keep the lot for
Let me do
vacant
this.
lot.
Hang on just a sec. Can I hold this one for 2 more weeks or 1 more to our next council meeting? Is that fair? Then after that, we're going to take action. So you've got until, what is it, next November 13th?
13th.
So is that okay with y'all if I go ahead and hold this one?
Right, and it'll actually be 3 weeks since we
Well, I'm
have
just
a
saying November
5-week
13th is what I'm
month,
telling you. It's
so
November
3
13th,
weeks.
okay?
Okay, maybe I can get somebody else to come up here too.
All right.
You need to try to have that done by the 13th or have
Now,
them here.
let me ask you, if we get it where she has the title to the property, does it start over and she have time to demolish the house, or?
Ma'am, if you all don't mind, even if on November 13th, if she already has title to it, if it is condemned, then she's given 30 days to demolish it herself. And then that way the city doesn't go in and demolish it and put a lien against the property. So even after that, she's got a little time, okay?
Appreciate you.
All right.
Mayor, Mr. Robert Glasgow is here on 3011 Gribble Street.
Come on up, sir.
I believe he spoke with Felicia before the meeting as well.
What's his address?
3011 Gribble.
3011 Gribble, gotcha. Can you get to that one for me, guys, in the back, if you don't mind?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Identify yourself, please, sir, if you don't mind.
I have cleaned up everything. I've got all of the burnt stuff. My
Your
name
name?
is Robert Glasgow.
Yes, sir.
I live at 3011 Gribble, North Little Rock.
Okay, you got it right there, guys.
Yes, sir. All the front porches removed, all that, everything burnt is removed, all the debris is cleaned up, all that crap there is cleaned up. I have new windows. All that's covered up with Tyvek, actually that white stuff. I actually used it there after I built the wall. The porch is completely gone. It's ready to be put back. All that wood's gone down. I put a new door there to close the building so people wouldn't come in and out the building. I put 5 new windows there. All that sheetrock's gone. All taken out, cleaned up and gone. That's the living room. All that's gutted out, cleaned out. All the old sheetrock's gone. I've been working my butt off. I raised my kids there for 10 years. Please don't tear my house down. It's just going to take me some time. And
So, Miss Felicia, can you send someone out there for me, if you don't mind, giving us some current pictures? I'm going to ask to hold this to the next council meeting, so you can not work your butt off anymore, if you don't mind.
no,
But
sir,
let's
that's the most.
Mr. Taylor, he said he's already done it. Mr. Taylor,
So,
Thank you very much.
hang on.
so you said you live here now?
No, I live at Proton Manor Apartments with my son and my baby's mom.
Okay, okay.
I sometimes spend the night there, but
I get it.
I've been trying to close the building up so that people don't come in and out.
Well,
there.
when he asked you where you lived, you said you lived there.
No,
I'm thinking-
I lived there for the last 10 years.
Okay.
No, there's no electricity. It's really cold at night. No.
Okay.
So what we're about to do is take a vote. Meanwhile, I will hold it for the next meeting, which is November 13th. I'll hold this, and we'll want current pictures from Miss Felicia, if you don't mind, and then we'll make a decision at that time. Mr. Taylor?
Well, I guess I'm confused, and here's my confusion. I thought that, I mean, he's working on it, that we move forward with condemnation, and he just entered into a rehab agreement with how long, I mean, how long is it gonna take you to be finished with it?
Actually, I planned on 47 weeks, and that's doing it by myself all the way to the end.
When did you start?
4 to 7 or 47?
47.
Oh, wow.
That's me doing it by myself. I haven't even had a financial backer or the outside of the house is completely sealed and it's like it was. The only work that'll be
Well,
done.
wait a
will
minute,
be
you're
on the
saying, hang on, you're saying you need another 47 weeks?
to do it by myself. All the inside.
You said
complete
you've done
sheetrock,
all this,
complete
you-
plumbing.
That's
And-
almost another year.
2 years.
What have you, no, 47 weeks is 52
yeah,
weeks in a
weeks,
year,
yes, sir.
okay.
About
So
a
that's
year.
almost another year, so,
I could probably do it in 6 months. I don't have a financial backer. I may sell the house. It may be more than I can go over. My mother is wanting me to list that house in 1709.
so
West Hollywood.
if I send Miss McHenry out here to take pictures, you're saying all this stuff that you're seeing in these pictures here is gone?
Yep, and the yard's raked and clean. And yes. I'm sorry. My phone gets stolen every time I go down there.
Well,
Or else I take pictures.
council members, I'm going to ask y'all, do you want to give him until November 13th to see current pictures? And then after that, or what do y'all would like to do? I'll put it back to you. I'm looking for Ms. Ross.
If he wants to enter into a rehab agreement, that gives him, 180 days? He could enter into a
Yeah,
rehab.
that gives him 180 days, but he also has to
Put up
put
the
up the estimated cost of the demolition, and I'm not sure based on what he's
I
saying.
don't have
that
$25,000
that's
to
gonna
wire and plumb the house in 3 months. No, ma'am, I don't.
I defer to the ward member.
Well, it won't take $25,000 to tear the house down.
No, not to tear the house down. Please don't tear my house down.
That's what I was talking about. You will be, if you enter into a rehab agreement, the code department will give you the estimated cost of demolition.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
In order to rehab the property, if it's condemned, you have to put that money up with the city. And usually it's in the, I mean, you know, it varies depending on whether there's asbestos, but you can count on about $5,000. And
Yes.
so if you don't have that much, then you're not gonna be able to, rehab the property, because that's what we
Maurice.
require.
We'll hold it. All right, guys, since it's my call, do me a favor, Felicia, give me current pictures if you don't mind, okay? See where he is. Sir, can you be back here November 13th at the next council meeting?
Yes, sir.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you keep working on it. Let's see if you're making progress. November 13th, I think this council will have a better decision what to do with it. Meanwhile, I want current pictures. This time I'll hold it, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll be here 2 weeks. I'll be here.
Well, November 13th is our, am I saying that right? November 13th.
It's November 13th.
Ms. Ross,
But
Ms. Ross,
I just want to
I'll be-
add, though, we've never given anybody 47 weeks.
I'm not gonna give him
So
47 weeks.
47 weeks is totally out
Yes,
of
yes, sir.
question.
What I'm giving you, I want to make it very clear to you, okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
You've got till November 13th. I'm gonna get current pictures. You need to keep working on it. At that time, this council is gonna have a decision to either give you more time or we're gonna demolish it. So you've got to prove to this council and to the city that you're doing what, see, I don't know how it got this way in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, let's go forth. November 13th, you can be back here. Ms. Felicia McHenry, Ms. Ma'am?
It's okay if he works on the property, but he does need to pull permits because it is a fire damaged structure.
Did you hear what she said? You can do that, right?
Yes, I have 120 bucks. I'm almost got, I can find more bucks. I'll get a permit tomorrow.
Any questions anymore? I'll hold it. Let's go. Thank you.
There's another gentleman on the front row, but I didn't speak to him, so I don't know if he's here on are you here on a condemnation?
He's not here, so, okay. Is there anybody else here that we're going through? That would be all the way through
I'm not aware of any others.
R-23, 229? I don't want to hear, sir, hang on a sec. So is there anybody here to talk about resolutions R-23 to R-23, that would be
221 to 229.
229 to 229. Is there anybody else here wishing to speak on those resolutions? If not, I'm going to adjourn this public hearing. So what we're going to be talking about more than anything is, if you'll go back over and read those addresses, please, that we're talking about.
Are we gonna call the resolutions one at a time now to vote on
If
them?
you'd like to, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
she'll just call them in order.
Has
Okay.
the, public hearing been closed?
I just adjourned it,
Okay.
yes, I did.
R-23-221, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 300 East 19th Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-23-222, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 317 Short Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-23-223, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 715 West 41st Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
R-23-224.
I think
Oh,
we
you were
held that
holding
one.
that
We
one. I
held that
apologize. R-23-226, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 2401 Moss Street, 1109 West 24th Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move. Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-227, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 1823 Franklin Street in the city of North Little Rock to constitute a public nuisance and condemning said structures, providing a period of time for property owner to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-228, we are holding that
I
one.
held that one.
R 23-229, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution declaring certain buildings, houses, and other structures located at 1722 Magnolia Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas to constitute a public nuisance and condemning such structures, providing a period of time for property owners to abate said nuisance.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
All right, we're going to do another, we'll read those addresses if you don't mind. Have you got anybody wishing to speak for them? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. R23,
R 23 to.
So these are on cleanup liens,
These
just
are
to be
cleanup, I
clear that
understand,
that's what
yes.
these are.
R 23-230, 111, 1114 North G Street. R 23-231, 210 East 17th Street. R 23-232, 1301 West 18th Street. R 23-233, 1502 Crutcher Street. R 23-234, 2516 Parker Street. R 25-235, 1406 West 10th Street. R 23-236, 611 Pollock Street.
okay, I'm about to convene a public hearing on those addresses that were just read. Ms. Whitby, is there anybody in the audience?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me go ahead. Let me convene a public hearing to addressing anybody who wants to speak for or against the cleanup liens on the addresses just listed from R 23-230 to Resolution 23-236. Please come forward. Is anybody there in these addresses? Seeing none, I will adjourn this public hearing. Let's call them.
R 23-230, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1114 North G Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-231.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 210 East 17th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-232, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1301 West 18th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-233, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1502 Crusher Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-234, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 2516 Parker Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-235, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 1406 West 10th Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
So move.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-236, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
A resolution certifying the amount of a cleanup lien to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real property located at 611 Pollock Street in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
So move.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Sulaco?
Yes.
R 23-237, Mayor Hartwick.
Let's call it, and then I'll call a public hearing. It's grass cutting, correct? Okay, please go.
A resolution approving and certifying amounts of liens to be filed with the Pulaski County Tax Collector against certain real properties in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas as a result of grass cutting expenses and abatement of other nuisances.
Let me call a public hearing on this. Those wishing to speak for or against Resolution 23-237, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn that public hearing. Please call it again.
Move for adoption?
Motion adopted. Okay, thank y'all.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
O 2386, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
An ordinance vacating and abandoning a certain unused wastewater easement on property located in the Tulip Farm development in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move suspend the reading.
Second.
Motion suspended, seconded.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Motion second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
O 2387, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
An ordinance amending Article 4 of the zoning ordinance, ordinance number 9263, to remove the Washington Avenue overlay district, declaring an emergency. First reading.
Move to suspend the reading.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Public comment period. So I have two public comments. See, I don't know which one was first, so I'll go with Robert. You be coming up, please, sir. You got 3 minutes if you don't mind, Robert, okay? Come on. Yes, sir, please. Identify yourself, please, sir, if you don't mind.
Sir,
Tell me your name and address, please.
I got it.
I know you do.
Okay. My name is Robert Gullett. I live at 120 Dooley Road in the Park Hill area. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
council members, I'm here today to address some of the problems we are having on Dooley Road and Skyline Drive due to Chris Olson's violations of the zoning law, ordinances, and regulations of our historical Park Hill neighborhood by misusing the area as a party and wedding event center. Some of our problems are parking. Even though Chris puts out signs that says no parking, people being people park wherever they want to. They don't even mind encroaching on your driveway. Police had to respond to noise control due to loud music and loud gas. A couple of months ago, MIMS had to send out an ambulance. They had to administer emergency care to a young lady that was so drunk she was dehydrated and passed out. We have intoxicated people walking up and down our streets, leaving beer bottles and drink cups in our neighborhood, usually in our yard. Then these people get in their cars and drive through our neighborhood. I have personally talked to many of you about these problems. I've talked with the mayor, excuse me, the city clerk, the assistant clerk, the planning director, and the city, Miss Ross, and the city attorney. After talking to all of y'all, we did our own research. What we found is that our area is zoned R1, not commercial. Ordinance 8838, which was passed without notification to the neighbors, allows historical tours of owner-occupied residents. Chris's business license is for historical tours only. And on his application form, he attested to the fact that he did not serve food or alcohol. and that the home was occupied. None of this is true. If you want verification that Chris is not living there, I've got pictures on my phone. Since September the 1st, Chris has had 6 weddings, 5 rehearsals, 2 dinners, 2 tours, and other parties. Each time he has a wedding, he circumvents at least 9 of the city functions. Mayor, when you were at our home, in my living room, you told me and some of our neighbors that you were going to talk to Chris and tell him no more weddings or big parties. Yet, when we talked to you later, you said you had told him he could have no more than 12 weddings a year. We've researched and researched. We've turned over rocks. We've read tea leaves to find out where you get that authority to give somebody a waiver to break the law. Without the approval of the Planning Commission or the City Council. This seems to me that you are actually overstepping your authority. You're way overstepping your authority. Mayor, Chris cannot legally do what he's doing, where he's doing it. In sum up, I'm here today to bring all of this to your express attention. We all know the law, and the city is charged with enforcing that law. So now this is in your hands. The question is, what are you going to do? Thank you.
Thank you. I think you have 2 people here that's going to say the same thing you are. Is Cassandra one of the, yeah, Cassandra? You're in the back there. Let me come back to you, but y'all are saying the same thing he said. I got you. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Cassandra Williamson, I think you wanted to say some public comment, please.
How's everybody doing today?
We're fine. Yes, ma'am. 3 minutes, please. Identify yourself and address, please, if you don't mind.
My name is Cassandra Williamson, and my address is 10831 Rich Smith Lane, apartment 403, North Little Rock, Arkansas, 72113. I'm here today because, Mayor, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what kind of respect that the council gets, the reason why we have to keep coming back saying the same thing. But when I had got home and you told me, you said, Cassandra, you said if you have any problems, call. So I did call. Miss Stacia emailed me, and she said she was going to handle the issue. Even legal aid, nobody has haven't even addressed the issue. That's why I'm back here talking with you all, because I was told if I keep calling the mayor's office, it's not going to help anybody or myself if I keep calling. So,
can I ask, who told you that?
Miss Stacia.
Stacia. Stacia?
She's on my phone.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about Ms. Chastain. Okay, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying, so what is your problem again? Tell me.
My problem is my credit score is all jacked up because they're saying I'm not paying my rent. And I got receipts on my rent since December the 2022 up until now. They're charging me $5 a day, $25 off the top, and $5 a day. And I'm thinking, I might be wrong, I'm thinking that housing is not paying their part, but I'm paying what they told me to pay. And then they're saying that.
This is a housing? This is a
Yes,
housing?
sir.
Okay.
Section 8 is not, I don't believe they're paying their part, because why am I being paying $5 a fee and a $25 additional for the last 3 months? They have 3 different ledgers.
Cassandra, have you talked to your housing, Ms.
Yes,
Belinda
sir.
Snow? Did you talk to me? Because I do
Belinda
remember you calling, and we called Ms. Snow to call you.
Miss Snow blocks people numbers. She don't want to talk to nobody.
Well, I do
So-
remember you calling us, and I do remember the situation, and I did call Ms. Snow, and I gave her your number that said.
She never did call.
Okay, so, got you. I'll call her personally myself, and I'll call you the next day or 2 personally, and because I remember you telling me, and I did call Ms. Snow after Stacia told me to. I assumed that she called you, and I thought she called me and told me she called your number, but I'll check it and be
She
sure.
didn't call me. She even blocked Mr. Kevin's number from him calling on my behalf.
Okay. Again, that's housing.
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
going to try to disagree. I'm not trying to get away from the problem. I'm just saying, I do remember you now. I remember calling. So let me call Miss Belinda Snow tomorrow. I will call you. Can you, 618-5152?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you'll see my number. I'll give you a call and see what's going on with that, explain what their side of it is. Is that fair with you?
Yes, sir. Because I would like for somebody to sit down and go over the ledger with me to see where the mistakes are, because it's not on me. It's either the apartment complex or housing. Somebody's not paying something, and I'm only doing what I was told to make the payment of $254 and the prorated rent in the beginning. But it seems to me that I got the bill that they were supposed to pay, and it's messing with my credit score real bad.
Gotcha. All right. I did remember calling you. You and I have talked. I remember, again, I've said it already, so I will call you tomorrow and see what's the problem. And so if you got a housing voucher, you're dealing with, who's your person you deal with at the housing authority?
What is her name? Mrs. Nakisha Sherrill was my case manager, but now it's Miss Courtney.
Okay, let me check. All right, gotcha.
Sir?
I'll give you a call tomorrow. Again, this is a housing authority issue. You got a voucher. You're paying your SEP. You're saying they're charging you $5 is what you're saying.
Yes, sir, $25 for the first day and then $5 after, because I've been charged for the last 3 months. And my ledger is all messed up.
Your what, your electric?
My ledger.
Oh,
where
your
they-
ledger. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
where I make the payments at, I made my own ledger from theirs, and it's just, I don't understand. When I pay early, I'm late. When I pay on time, I'm late. Okay, what we got going on here?
I don't know. I'll find out. Meanwhile, it is a housing authority thing. I will make the call tomorrow to Miss Belinda Snow. And I will call you one way or nothing tomorrow and see what, I'll have to retract what we did last, I don't know, so.
Yes,
let
sir.
me find out.
Okay, thank you for addressing the issue.
No problem.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Is there anybody else, public with comments? If not? So moved. Motion second.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
Which is a year.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Lucky man. Well, y'all look like two.